Okay, so let's go. We already pick up the subject, and like I said, it will be the furniture pack, kinda industrial loft style. So we will create like 3 or 4 assets. So yeah, let's start. I will put Bobby somewhere else. And let's go. Of course, we start with the famous cube. I don't need camera and lighting on my stand, so bye-bye. I will keep it here, it should not affect that much. Viewport. Just made it, okay. Take a look at my reference. I can set up the correct scale, let's say. We will start with table. Thanks to the machine tool, the add-on, with Alt-A, I enable align tool, and when I press floor, it will align this object to the floor. Right now, we go to edit mode, and just move our vertex somewhere here. I have enabled snapping to vertices, and when I hold Ctrl, I can snap to vertices here. So we have like the counter on our table. Yes, I will try. I will try to be slower. Too fast. Yeah, I know. I know. Okay. We want this table to be like 2 people on sides, on longer side, and 1 here, for example. So Bobby will be good help as always. We just duplicate him. So there is some spacing between. Something like this will be probably enough. Before we go with this style, I want to keep this counter a bit bigger. Oops, family, yes. .035. Right now it's around like 5 centimeters. Maybe we can reduce it a little bit more. What I like to do when I'm working with this type of object, I like to slice this object on half by Ctrl-R. That way I just add 1 loop. We select this loop with Shift-Alt, it's like select everything. And Ctrl-S, we go to origin to selection. That way, origin point will be perfectly on the middle. We can remove this half and go to this tab and put mirror modifier. Bank. So any change on this side will be also affected on this side. So less clicks for us, right? And also it will help with like unwrapping at the end. So it's very, very useful. Okay, so now we're gonna decide what type of legs we're gonna use. At this point, I try to keep everything as simple as possible because this is like the first step, like blocking, so we can get the proper size, scale, and everything. Later we will just focus on adding details. So we have multiple choices. And I was thinking about this. It feels to be nice looking, and it's not like just generic cube, another cube, right? So as you remember, we are working on this part. From image, we can see there is like a support below. We're just gonna copy this part, scale it a little bit along X and Y. Right now I have selected active element, so it's scaling always the same and closest. If I change this to active, for example, it will depend which side I have. I can scale it like this and this. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm gonna probably scale it a little bit. Up to this point. We snap it and extrude it. I will remove this face and move it here. By the way, when we enable clipping, right now, as you see, I can go beyond. But as soon as we turn on clipping, it will reach this area and not going further. This area will be covered by countertop, so we don't need this face that's inside. We can remove it. And now we're gonna add legs. We can once again select this part, Shift D to duplicate it, move it down, and we're gonna scale it. I need to disable clipping because right now I won't be able to like separate them. I just need to uncheck this, rotate it, let's say 90 degrees at this moment, and turn on clipping again. Okay, we don't need these bobs anymore. By pressing slash on numpad, we turn on like focus mode. So only this element is visible in our camera. Very handy. We can just focus on one part of the object. Okay, as you see, we need to add like another support. When we look here, legs are kind of attached somewhere here. So we're gonna try and do exactly the same. We still probably need to shrink it even more. Okay, this part don't need to have face on bottom. Also this part. And we can just everything here and slowly slide it. We duplicate this one, Control S scale on y-axis. That way we can just flip it by pressing -1 right now. And something weird happened, if I'm correct. Or not. No, it's okay. Let's move it by 0.10. 0.10. Okay, we might even push it a little bit further, and instead of here, maybe let's do it like this. And this element, let's increase the size a little bit. We can just slightly tiny on y-axis. Meow meow. Yeah yeah. Zero 0.1. 0.0.1. It's hard to see exactly how it's built, but probably these two elements are like merged together, so we might just do the same. So let's just slide it here. One moment, let's try and do it a bit different. So our life will be a bit easier. Let's select just this element. Because if we leave it like this, we might happen what's called like zip buffering. If we have two faces exactly on the same area, like here, sometimes you can see this in games where there's like flickering between two models or textures. That's why we should merge it or change size. You can do it like on different ways. But in that case, I want to merge together those two objects and just keep going. Yes, we can use knife tool. So let's focus here. We go to orthographic view. It's by number pad. Number 5. Sorry, number 5. On numpad, and by pressing K, we can just select this element. Z allow us to cut through everything. We just select here, here, back here. And we should have perfectly cut out faces. We can remove them. Select everything, press M, merge by distance. If something is not aligned, we might just need to manually connect them. And this is where F2 add-on coming. Just press F. Done. Or you can select everything and just press F to fill the face. Alt M to make sure everything is clean. And it's done. By pressing Alt H back, we bring this element once again. We go back to perspective mode. And let's put this beam in the middle. We can do it simply on extruding this one, but I feel like there's like a small hole inside here. It's an either or small hole or it's this element going through. Hard to tell from the resolution on this image. But let's say it's like a small hole. So to do it, we can press E to inset and then extrude inside. And we can do the same on this side. But instead of pushing this in, we will just extrude it here. We're gonna remove this face, so everything is like one single object. We're gonna add like another one detail here. I will shrink this a little bit more. Select this, copy. Let's get rid of clipping once again for a moment. We're gonna rotate it by 90 degrees. We need to close this face and let's shrink it down. Duplicate, move it here, snap to this one, and we can slightly push it off. And let's align this one here. So let's say we have like our base shape. Right now I will align a little bit the legs and this part, because right now it looks kind of weird, let's say. Let's select this element and this element. and push it back here. It can even intersect. In this corner, we can see exactly how long we push this element, so that way we can like follow the same distance on the other side. So let's just do it by 0.8 or maybe 0.9, and the same here. 0.9, too much. 0.9 on negative axis. There is also one thing I just noticed. I push legs a little bit too much. Yeah, they are beyond, let's say, our ground limit. So I will go here, turn on occlude mode so I can select both of them. And just slide by double press G. To this level. Okay, looking on reference, I feel like we should slightly shrink it. So at this point, we're probably not gonna use this side for sitting. So we're just gonna use those two. And it feels to be correct. Okay, so it's time to add a little bit of details to this one. And we'll add some bevels. We still keep using mirror modifier, so it's easier for us. I will add another very handy modifier called bevel. But instead of like beveling everything, I want to add bevels where I want. To do it, we go to limit method and choose weight. And when we go here and select all edges that we want and move this slider, we can bevel only this part of model. As you see, numbers are a bit odd at this moment, but we can tweak it how we want. So just by reducing this, something like this will give us way better results. We can always do it manually, like bevel. The problem is if we want to change something or update, it will be just way harder than using this method. Because right now it's not applied, so I can just move everything how I want and it still apply. But as soon as I bevel, for example, this edge by hand, so by pressing Alt B, I'm stuck with this one. To go like back, I will need to connect them together. At this point, it's always like a lot of trouble. So I prefer to use, at least at the beginning, the modifier. So we're gonna add modifier also here. So we mark this one. As you see, all of those are marked by like a small, slightly blue color. Give them like a small halo effect. We can also do it on this one if we want. We can increase segment elements, but in that case, it's not necessary. We want to keep them, let's say, hard edges. We want to give this element less cubic shape, and as we know, it's maybe hard to see here, but I'm pretty sure there is slightly bevel edge no matter what. There is. Yes. Okay. We can add like 2 materials at this point. We have one for wood and one will be for like a steel, probably steel, looking on it. So let's call it wood material and steel material. I'm gonna use some dummy color for this one and something for this one. As you see, there is no difference at this point, even if I have texture enable. But this is where the texture toolkit is coming handy. We can choose easily material to viewport by using base color. So we press it, it will be applied. It really helps for like just visual representation of everything. Now we select all the metallic parts, assign this material to this, and we have something that's very low poly, looking, let's say, similar to what we want to archive. Okay, I have weird feeling that our legs, let's say, are not looking good. I feel like our cube here is, let's say, perfect, but legs are sheer a little bit. So don't be afraid. Let's do it like this. I will select the middle point. I press Ctrl Shift to select cursor to selection. I'm gonna remove this leg. I'm gonna put cube. We already have turned off clipping, so that's fine. Every object in edit mode and even not edit mode is always placed on the cursor. That's why I've put first cursor in this area, so it will be placed perfectly in the same spot. And I'm gonna shrink it. Now we can rotate it by 45 degrees. And when we change transfer orientation to normal, we can slide it all over here. We go back to global. And now we can just scale it on the y-axis. I'm gonna select this, and this is another cool feature of machine tool. I just press Alt A, align to bottom. As you see, it will put everything perfectly on the floor level. Let's make it slightly bigger. Yes, it's like yeah, it's alternative. True. You can get same result just by scaling stuff. We can also rotate it. There's really multiple options, but I prefer to always like align it. Okay, let's select this element once again. Okay, in this case, we're gonna also rotate it. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same what we are doing right now. I mean, the end result is the same, but this time I selected both sides at the same time, so this inset and this inset will be exactly the same. So let's push this one here, and this one let's extrude once again. We're gonna enable clipping, remove face as it's not needed, and we are back with this object. I will go back to material and assign steel, and we're gonna add some bevels on the steel element. We're still gonna use the same bevel modifier on all of those edges. As you see, by the way, very cool feature in Blender is using cavity. That way you can way easier notice all the hard edges on the viewport. It's very useful. Now we're gonna put bevels on this side. Yeah, cavity is love. I'll probably gonna ignore this part as it's not gonna be that visible. And now let's shrink it back. So it's intersecting with this. In that case, I'm just gonna slightly move it. Looks like it's not perfectly aligned with my object. Just gonna move it by hand to this point. Okay, in that case, I see the bench looks kind of similar to the table, so we're probably gonna end up with just moving it and shrinking it down. So for other subject, we'll pick probably like a stool or chair. I didn't even really notice it before. Okay, let's add bevel also to this element. Let's push this one below. And I would like to round this way more. And I'm probably gonna do it by hand this time. I'm just selecting two edges, Ctrl B, move mouse cursor, and with scroll wheel we can add loops to our bevel. Let's mark this. Let's mark this. We're gonna add smooth shading around this edge, and we go to normals and apply auto smooth just for now. Let's bump this a little bit more so we can see it slightly better. I want to give this thing a bit more 3D dimension. So what I would like to do is shrink bottom part. Not much, but just slightly. Something like this. Ah, looks good enough. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay. And yeah, like I said before, I will use probably the same model for bench. But right now I'm gonna prepare stool and chair. And later we will prepare like all the UVs together with everything. Any substance prep workshop? We'll go to substance later. So let's move Bobby aside. I still have weird feeling like this one is a bit wide. Should probably be like for two people, but turn on occlusion. Maybe it's for white people. True. Yeah. Mr. Whitewood. I feel like it's too white for one, not white enough. Yeah, as soon as we put chair, we will decide. At this point, I feel like it was just too white. So yeah, stay tuned. We will go to substance really soon, and I will also explain all my settings and stuff like this. Sorry, it's a bit like chaotic, everything. Let's say it's like first time tutorial thingy live. So it might be Pepega, but we'll probably improve with time. So at this point, I feel like you can just throw questions if you want. I feel like it will be just easier for all of us. Let me just double check if the size is correct for desk. Yes. Tip for next time, go slower. Yes. What? No. Okay. So our Pepega table is done, let's say. Yeah, for white. Sorry, my Polish is strong, right? God damn it, chat, please. Okay. By the way, I feel like this one will be like a good example. Because usually when we create like a, I don't know, like a table or whatever, it's supposed to be placed like this, right? That way we can remove bottom elements from our mesh, right? Because this part won't be visible, this part won't be visible, so we can remove it. But if for some reason we want to flip our table, it's better to hold this, right? So it's like one of the choices we need to make when we create our assets. Also, how much details we want to put, for example, on the bottom part. So in that case, we're gonna stick with, let's say, regular GTA usage, right? So we can remove all the... Why did it assign to matter again? You mean like apply the color here, right? On the Blender instead of using nothing? It's on the asset creation toolkit, the add-on, and there is material to viewport. It will basically apply the base color to our element. Otherwise, there is different option to do it, but it's way more clicks. Let's say you will need to go to shading, put something. So yeah, this way easier and quicker. And also, I already explained this tool, what I'm using it. So it's like another purpose. Yes, it's here. That's true. But I feel like this is easier, quicker to go here instead of scrolling always and opening multiple tabs. Less clicks, right? Less clicks. Okay. So let's go and make a chair. I really like this one, but I'm not sure if it will fit to this design. What do chat thinks? I like this one because it's a bit more complex. I could do it. Okay. So yeah, this one was already basic, so let's go a bit crazy. Let's go a bit crazy. Bobby, come here. Our reference go here. Let's put origin to world. And of course, the only one, the chosen one, cube. Reference are done by you. You mean this one? Yes, I did it today before stream, so, and I will upload it somewhere on my Discord, or so you can reuse it. This is like the average sizes of most of the GTA objects. I'm not sure exactly if it's like real life scale properly, but I know these sizes will work kinda okay with all the animations that we have, like sitting, standing, laying, you know, using laptop, etc. So It seems to be working properly. Yeah. It should be near, but I feel like there is always slight differences. The biggest example, for example, are always doors, and like for example, knob to open them. It's always like placed in weird place. Not sure why. Oh. Okay, I was lying to you, chat. We don't need cube. We need something else. We will need yes, forgive me. But we can use also cube. Cube is for everything. Okay. Let's go crazy. We want it to be crazy, so let's go crazy. No. Let's stay with cube. I will scale it down. As I will block or lock the axis. It's very cool feature because as you see, I can just shrink it like this. That means it won't scale on the axis. You can block it on every axis you want. So it can be Z, X, or Y. You do it just by scale, Alt Shift, and you press axis. So let's shrink it to, let's say, this size. Looks kinda okay. Subdivision, nope. I'm gonna remove bottom and top face, because we're probably not gonna need it. I'm gonna select all edges. I could just select everything, but yeah, let's do it like this. And bevel, we're gonna use our lovely bevel option. I'm gonna apply this, doesn't really matter. And when we press F6, we're gonna put this one for me. It's Shift Z, lock axis. It doesn't work for anyone else. Oh, I mean S. If you mean the S before, it's like for applying scale. So it's like S for scaling, then you Shift, Alt Shift, and you press axis. I think it's by default, but if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry. Okay, so we go to Bevel tab, and we can choose multiple options here. First of all, we can pick segments. We can also pick type of offset, and we can select clamp overlap. That means we can't go like beyond. So that way we can just create. What do we create? We create pipe. As soon as we apply smoothing, auto smooth, go above. I think this method creates double vertices, so we just need to go and merge them. Yes, indeed, it's what happened. As you see, we got smooth. Smooth shading perfectly at this point. So let's shrink it down. And again, our thingy will come to help us. Chair and sofa is here. We will need Bob as a reference. So we have our, let's say, legs. I will put origin to selection, snap selection, cursor to selection. And we're gonna add cube once again. So this will be the place where our poo-poo will land. Yeah, it's a very special stream and training. Okay, as usual, we can cut this, put origin point exactly here, origin to selection, go to edit mode, and we can remove all of this faces. Looks like too much. Okay, without this one. Vertices. And let's go and add mirror modifier. Mirror on X, mirror on Y. That way by moving just one object, I can move like all of them at once. I'm gonna unselect top part, separate it. And use this element as one without mirroring Y. Close this, enable clipping. And let's try shaping this this sitting area. First of all, we will need to bevel back and round it. Do I have better angle? Yeah, it looks very spherical, let's say. I don't want to add too much loops. This one is already looking good as soon as we apply smoothing. Personally, I'm not a huge fan with subdivision. There's always a lot of cleaning after all. So I prefer to just stick with like regular modeling. Okay, now let's select these loops and subdivide them a little bit. We have few extra vertices here. That way I will be able to move them slightly up and down. Let's connect everything together. Okay, now it will be connect. Connect and it will behave correct. Before this vertices wasn't connected to anything and we had like n-gon. That's why we had some trouble. By the way, when we connect vertices like this, it's really important because, let me go back. Very often when we like add some like faces, we always press F, right, to fill face. And many people do the same for vertices. When we press F, we did not connect them, we just create like an edge between them. And this is wrong. As you see, we have some weird glitches. It's not like they are connected. There's just edge on top. So as you see, I just remove edge and it's still kind of pepega. That's why in that case, we always press J for, I think it's like join. Not sure exactly from what this shortcut stands, but I feel like it's join. So yeah, F is for filling faces, or if you don't have like any mesh between. For example, if we remove this, we can press F. It will be okay, but still it's better. If you have, if you have face on top of it, press J, but if you have something like this, F will work correct. So I'm gonna do it like this. And another cool feature about F2 add-on, if we have something like this and we just press F, it will fill for us by default. So we just need to select one face and just press F to fill gaps. Same here. Just go like this, remove, select this edge, F, 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 done. So let's say at this point we have our like very basic shape. I will still need to align these legs. Right at this point it's just kind of placeholder, so let's don't bother. I'm not gonna bend and add curves at this point. I just want to build everything, and then we start reducing some stuff and adding some stuff. Let me double see if there is no issues here. Looks like not. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is like one big solid element, so we're gonna try and do it the same way. I wish there is some better angle on this one. Yes, here for. Okay, we're gonna add one extra loop. I will get rid of all unnecessary loops, vertices at the end. So at this point, we're gonna just extrude it. I hope Bob's poo-poo will land here perfectly. Yeah, looks okay. We still might just move everything a bit to the sides if it's required. That's why I like to use mirror modifier for this type of objects. Okay, let's move everything closer to the table, will be slightly easier for us to get proper scale. Maybe I have even better idea. Because this part is for sure following the same shape. Let me go back. Control Z, blah 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 blah, Control Z, go back. Remove this. Yes, it will be. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Okay, let's extrude. Alt S. I mean, just E for extrude. We right click, so it's like unselected again, and now Alt S. And this is shrink flatten option. That way we can just move everything along normals and just press offset even. That way everything will be perfectly aligned to each other. Let me do it once again. Like this, set even. While I hold Control and click here, I will follow the path. It's biggest shortest path for selecting. It's way easier than like holding Shift and pressing everything. It's sometimes gimmicky and not working properly because there's like a small edge somewhere and it will just go different way. But as you see, in that case, it works perfectly. So let's move this up. Let's go back here. Okay, probably this table is slightly smaller than this one. And also we have to keep in mind that these sizes are probably different than ERL, like I explained before. So we're just gonna stick with this one. And seating area, because if we would like to match this one, we will need to put the seating way higher and maybe increase this, and it will already look weird. Because as you see, the size of this one is even probably the same as this, or maybe slightly smaller. So let's keep it like this. And we can still adjust this a little bit. So we can push this a bit higher and this one a bit lower. So let's do this. For this, the best tool is this one, proportional editing. At first we can try with just smooth and select this edge. As you see, I have like this big circle. With scroll wheel, I can decide how much I want to affect, so everything that's inside circle will be affected. So we need to find like a sweet spot. So our, let's say, bottom part is not affected. Meanwhile, the rest is. We can just go now here and do the same. And slowly adjust it. When we take a look here, I don't want to add too much loops all around. I feel like it's a bit pointless. Okay, let's keep going. This and last part. Like this. I might need to add maybe one extra loop here. At this point is maybe not needed. Okay, let's select again everything. Slightly higher. Maybe even more. Okay, now it's time to remove this element. For this we will need at first like one loop here. And we can probably remove everything and we'll just build this again. And as usual, I just press F, fill these gaps. Click, click, click. Easy like this. As you see, we don't really need like the subdivision. Everything can be archived the same way. We can add right now, for example, subdivision, but it's really pointless at this point. And like I say, for this type of game assets, I feel like subdivision just gives way more complexity than it's really needed. So keep everything as simple as possible. Start from very basic stuff and just start building more and more and more, adding more and more details. There is always like multiple ways of doing something, so don't be afraid to like experiment. Right now I'm thinking if I should extrude it here or only here. What do you guys think? I think if we just eat this part, it might be not enough. To be honest, I like this effect. Of course, we might need to slightly round it. Okay. The last thing will be to move this side. Like this. Why my cursor is disappearing all the time? Let me check. The cursors. Let's use view. It's not perfect, but at least it will stay where I want to showcase something, so that's fine. So yeah, we want to add a bit curvature on this side. So let's go back to this menu. And let's try just moving this like this. Okay, I'll definitely need to add like 1 or 2 loops. Select this element once again. Fully focus on this one. I might need to split them. Or this will be enough. Okay, let me test as soon as we add bevels how it's gonna look like. Select this one, this one, and this one. Yes. Okay, it's just to see how it looks like. Yes, I'm using smooth shading with some default auto smoothing. Okay, it's not bad, but still, before I bend this, I need to shrink this part slightly. Let's turn this off. I'm just sliding it to the left side. And I will align this one here, this one. Let's remove this element. And this is the same as smoothing group when you export in 3ds. Yes, kinda yes. I mean, in 3ds Max you have the smoothing groups. You can like put multiple different shading groups on one object. There is no such thing on Blender, but you can set up everything on marking hard edges. I will go to this one soon, probably. This topic, let's say. Okay, let's move this. Slightly higher. And move here. Okay, let's start rounding all the corners. I'm gonna do it one by one with just beveling by hand. This one works perfectly. We gonna ignore this moment, like these weird shapes. We will clean them as soon as possible. We're just gonna merge everything at this point. Gonna add small bevel here. And slide this edge. You're getting weird bevels. Okay. Let's go back. You probably have slightly different options enabled. When we go under F6, you can try and play with these settings. Maybe clamp overlay, maybe you have something disabled. Also make sure you don't have double vertices, so select everything, mark by distance, and just remove it. At this point I should have probably the default values. Oh, also, yes. This is also, if you have scale is like something else, you might have also trouble. So rotation and scale, or just scale, just apply it. If there's any other number, unwrapping, some modifiers can work a bit different. And yeah, F6 is not coming out as long as you, let's say, apply something. So at this point, when I just press Ctrl B to bevel and I left click to apply, I can bring this menu again. But as soon as I let's say do something and I select this, looks like selection working, but if I move this one, for example, and F6, it's move again, like move tool. So it only applies to the recent, let's say, comment you did. Okay, I need to see if it's mess up with my shape. No, it's not, so it's fine. So we go full here. Here's sharp corner, so let's keep it. And we might just add here one. Okay, I need to move this higher. Same with this one. So like the flow is almost the same. Like the distance between those elements is the same. Okay, at this point we're gonna clean this mess. So I'm gonna just remove all of those faces. Selected too much. This, remove it. And we can just go here, press F, 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 F. At this point there is something that's not good for me. We're gonna manually do it. Here and here. I still might go back here and fix some stuff, but at this point it will be enough. Remove doubles. The same here. Remove. Apply. Go back to perspective. This. And this. Yes, it will be uploaded. I mean, it will stay as video on Twitch, highlighted, and I will probably also upload it on YouTube. You can slowly follow everything. We won't need this, so at the end, probably just gonna slide it down and collapse what's not needed. At this point, let's keep it like this. Let's take a look how the edge bevel looks like. It looks not bad. Okay. But for O, we have some issue here. We got double face. So let me select this part, and this. Okay, I'm gonna use cleanup tool from machine tools. That will show me if I have any n-gons, if I have any triangles or non-manifolds, and any other weird stuff. But at this point, looks like it's completely fine. Okay, I already know that I won't need this bottom part, so I can select it and use G to slide it here and merge everything together. Let's go to modifiers. Let's enable bevel. And let's limit methods to weight. We're gonna use the same stuff that we was using for our table. Select everything and put bevel at 1. Now we need to reduce the amount. I'm gonna reduce the smoothing. Okay, let's select here, everything here. Gonna do the same on inside. Double G is for sliding. Yes. As you see, I still keep using the control and clicking to follow path. In most cases, it works perfectly. For example, here and okay, I just marked all the outside edges and applied bevel to them. Just need to go here and use different method, because if we use offset, as you see, we have slightly different sizes. For example, this one is a bit bigger than this one. So I'm just gonna try multiple options and decide which one is working like the best. Percentage is like not working at all. This one seems to be the most accurate. Okay, in my opinion, it looks decent for now, for like a game asset in GTA at least. I could probably move it a bit higher. Right now I'm just looking on, you know, on my eye. If pet character is like sitting, should probably fit. Maybe we can make it slightly bigger. I'm gonna scale it here. Let's move it on X. And slightly here. Gonna slide it and align with this one, but wrong. Closest selected. So why it's not selecting, not sliding where it's supposed to slide? Okay, let's just place it like this. It's supposed to snap here, but for some reason it's not snapping. No big deal. Okay, so this part, oh, I almost forgot. We still need to like add some curvature to this area. So let's select everything here. We turn back proportional editing. And we might need to just select maybe middle part. Okay, I'm gonna do different. I'll select this loop with Ctrl plus. I will just start selecting all of those. I'm gonna disconnect this one by pressing Y twice. And right now, when I select this and connect it only, I should be able to move only this part. As you see, I can have big circle, but it's not affecting object above. So let's move this slightly lower. Maybe instead of everything, just at this point it might be not visible much, but as soon as we apply texture and some filters in Substance Painter, we might get some benefits out of this. Okay, let me hide this completely. Maybe even better. Yes, 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 yes. I have better idea. Let's slide this one here. Align. We're gonna add some edge loops here. Let's focus again. Let's add subdivision. 2 should be enough. We join those elements together. I feel like this one might be too much. We just remove this. This donut looks different. Okay, now it should be way better. Let's once again hide this element. Select this. With one extra loop, we should have just better bending. Instead of like sharp corner, it will go slightly more natural. full focus mode. Okay. I will use substance. I will use substance. Okay, because we split them, there is some small issues here, but we're just gonna connect it. We just press this one, press this one. I'm using machine tool for this. This is the same what's hidden here at first, so you can just press M at first. But I just prefer to use machine tool. There's a shortcut that when you press 1 on your keyboard, it's doing the same thing. When we take a look, right now it's like 200 triangles, so it's not a lot, and we're still gonna reduce it a little bit at the end, so it's completely fine for like this type of game asset. We still will have some stuff here. I feel like half K for this will be enough. Okay, I'm just gonna push this. Push this part a bit higher. Just small tweaks here and there. So our poo-poo is not sliding. Sliding away. Okay. At first we made this. It's using mirror modifier on all axes. So we just need to, let's say, make one that looks perfect, and the same setting will apply to all of them. Let's select those two objects. Let's go to focus mode, so we only see this. We go to orthographic, top view. I will enable pass-through and occlusion, so I can see my object. Okay, let's rotate it around 10 degrees. It seems to look stable, let's say. We might just increase the size of this one. With Alt-S, we can still adjust it a little bit. Let's keep it like this. When we take a look here, we probably not gonna build like this small thing here. Feels a bit useless, but still we're gonna connect each leg together. Add small support here. Yeah, so those two legs will have support, those two, and one in between them. We're probably just gonna put small extrusion on bottom. Okay, so let's add cube. Put it here, scale it down. Now we can enable clipping. we need like a small wooden piece in between them. Okay, we might move it a little bit higher. Or maybe stick. It feels okay. Okay, gonna disable clipping once again. Instead of duplicating, I'm gonna put another cube. Scale it down. Let's put it exactly here. Let's enable clipping once again. And we're gonna add this small piece of wood. Okay, I just noticed I have inset, so we might just remove it. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we might increase a little bit size of them. Let me go with selecting normals. That way I can increase size on x-axis without breaking like shearing object, because at this moment it's rotated slightly, so using normal will follow exactly the normal direction. Let's make it a bit more, say a bit bigger. I feel like pushing this through even look better, maybe not. Let's hide this element. Also, we won't need those faces, we can remove them. The same applies here. We don't need them because it will be hidden inside another object, so it's like pointless to keep this one. Okay, let's bring this. I can see there is like a small metallic piece probably. So we might add it. I need to go to boundary box when I extrude. I will scale it directly from the middle point. And now we might need to go back to normal. And unfortunately, it's not working perfectly. Okay, So I think I need to go and try change extrude region, extrude along normal. And it's again a bit tough. Okay, we're gonna do it different. Let's remove all doubles. I'm gonna fill this area with n-gon. Now I can extrude along normal. Let's go back here. We're gonna extrude it once again and Alt S. It will create some useless faces, but we're gonna just remove them. So we don't need this part, we don't need this part, and just keep it like this. Now we're gonna just select this element and bevel it. I'm gonna mark sharp, so we will see sharp edges on this element. And it will be the same as the table, so this element will be metallic, while pretty much everything will be wooden. I feel like I might need to move these front elements a bit to the side. So it's more like this instead of this. Okay, I'm gonna apply mirroring. I'm gonna select this element. And this. And we're gonna just slide it. Maybe without this. Select this, this. Yeah, it feels to look a bit more stable, let's say. Okay. Okay. At this point, I'm gonna keep mirror. It will be very helpful with unwrapping. I can still move this stuff at the very end, so it's like no problem. Okay, just for science, I'm gonna bring some model from actual game from model I have. This is, for example, the chair from the game, and we can just compare the dimensions. So as you see, my measurement was, let's, very accurate. It's pretty much the same. I just wanted to make sure before we go, let's say, further. So yeah, Bob as is perfect. It's perfect. Also this size. Yes. It's completely fine. The only thing might be to move everything here a bit higher. I feel like it's just too low. Only thing I see here is like something with shading. Question is why. I'm just gonna move it before it's going crazy. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so we will clean everything at the end before we move to unwrapping. Okay, chat. How long are we doing this? Let's say around 2 hours. Okay. Fair enough. Bobby, move away. So we have this and we have this. Let me apply just some dummy materials. We will have steel, we will have wood. I should swap this one, so this will be wood. And here we have both. It will be steel and how did you will reduce the triangle number? In most cases, I do it manually. There is few things in Blender. If you want to automate, there is some multiple modifiers, but I use it rarely, let's say. In most cases, I prefer to always do it manually. There's always more control over it. But yeah, as soon as we will go with unwrapping and stuff like this, I will explain way more about reducing, why I'm cutting like this, etc. Okay, because I want to... Yes. I will prepare like 1 or 2 extra assets, and then we will collapse all the modifiers, put slices, stuff like this. Let's just check. Yeah, seems fine. I still have weird feeling about this desk. Feels something odd. But I'm pretty sure it's because it's higher than our reference. So our legs are a bit thinner than here. I'm pretty sure if I will put bench here, so let's say this is our seating, and our seating is supposed to be higher than this, and our are kinda equal, so I guess that's because of this. Maybe we should just increase the size of legs. But we need to do it on normal. So I don't know, they looks more heavy. What do you guys think? Yeah, it looks more solid. It's like twice the size. So yeah, let's quickly do some fixes here. I'm gonna remove this part. And remove this part. Let's collapse this, select, move it on axis. So this one goes 0.02, 1.5. One seems to be enough. It's like 1.1 exactly. Yeah, I feel like just doubling the size works. And instead of this shape, I would prefer to use just cube. So once again, we're gonna put cursor to selection. We're gonna add cube. So yeah guys, as you see, it's often going back and forward with some stuff. Right now it's perfect cube. Maybe let's try this. We're gonna experiment with few things. And we might add the same amount of bevels here. It's not exactly the same as it was on the reference, but I feel like it fits the whole shape and idea. I feel like we can even improve it. So we can select everything here. We press inset. Wait. Let's remove bottom part. Like I explained before, we might probably not need it. So select all of this, and all of this. Inset. On inset, there is like multiple options. We can do inset like this. We can do inset like this. So each face will inset individually, or we can also do it with boundaries. So as you see, the bottom part is like also gonna be inset. It's similar to bevel, but kinda opposite. And now we have two options. We can press too much. Yeah, let's bevel here. Now extrude. I release, so it stays the same, and Alt S for moving this stuff. Let's try this. Offset proportion. We select even. As you see, there is slight difference. I prefer to use even, otherwise there might be some issues when we're gonna start unwrapping. There will be some moved edges. So it's better to keep it like this. Yeah, at this point it looks too heavy. So let's inset it inside. Okay. I'm gonna remove the new created faces. We don't need them. We probably got same on top, so with L I select element, then I hold Shift H to hide everything that's not selected. That way I can see these elements. Because we did offset, we also, let's say, added bevels everywhere. We don't really need all of them, so I'm just gonna remove them everywhere, and I will just reapply them where I want them to be. Okay, it looks similar to like the support beams at this point. It looks kind of cool. There was one looking like this, so at this point I kind of mix them together. Now I'm gonna duplicate this element with Alt D. That means if I change something here, it will also be changed here. I will also move origin point. We can do it here by options, origin. Just gonna slide it here. As you see, the same thing happened here. This is not a problem. We're just gonna unselect and slide it back. I did it to more easily scale it along axis. We're just gonna reuse the same model for bench. It will have slightly different texture, but model will be the same. I feel like there's just no need to go beyond that. Only problem is 100 IQ. Yeah. Yes, but I need to fix placement of origin. Okay. Wait a moment. Let's go origin to geometry. Okay. Now let's move origin once again to the floor level here. As you see, our desk was moved. Let's just slide it back where it was before. Okay, it will be enough. Okay, we have a measurement tool. I want to see how long is this. It's like 2 meters. Okay. Fine. I do both, really. Okay, so once again, Alt D to duplicate. We're gonna scale it down. Let's use chair as a reference. Okay, I'm gonna prepare like one small object and we're gonna keep going further because I feel like at this point we're not gonna finish it today. What I wanna add is like the small, I forgot the name in English, the small things on top of tables. Placemats, yes, this. So yeah, we're gonna just put like 1 or 2, and we're gonna make texture for it. So there will be just something slightly different. And of course, nothing really fancy. We're just gonna stamp it on top of it. We're gonna make it very thin. And what we can do is to get rid of the inside element. I do it because it won't be visible, so there's really no point of having it. We're gonna make it rounded. Or maybe in industrial type it will look better like this. Okay, different approach. Different approach. Let's just use plane. Put it here. Scale it down. Rotate it. Tiny, tiny bevel. Yeah, something like this. I'm placing origin to geometry. Now we're gonna do inset. Inset that is for some reason not working. Hello. Okay, I had to double press I because previously I used different settings and Blender just remembered them, so that's why it's like not working at all. When I press twice, it brings the setting back. Okay, let's add another material. Let's call it placemat. We'll give it like a dark color. Not sure if I'm gonna shrink them or... Okay, so let's say our model is kind of ready. It's time to clean and apply everything. We're gonna start with our table. We're gonna prepare UV. As soon as we do this, it will be applied to this one, and later I will just slightly tweak the size of this one. So it will be just way easier to do unwrapping. After, we're gonna do this one and placemats. I'm not gonna need purref at this point, so let's just hide it. And let's go to this. Okay, I already know what I want to do with all the bevels, so I will get rid of the modifier and I will just manually apply it everywhere. So first one will be here. And of course on top. And on the sides. I'm doing this because I will use slightly different settings and sizes on each of the elements. Let's go with width. Let's see this part once again. Looking for something. Okay, I just noticed I have small issue here. Let me take a look. What happened here? Okay, for some reason, all those elements are merged. So I just use Y to split them. Let me hide this one. Let's fix this by placing it where it's supposed to be. Select these elements once again. Focus view. Feel some flickering. The middle thing, it doesn't need face inside. No, we don't need. Oh, there's no faces here. Okay, we can remove this sides. And I'm just gonna hide it inside. I still would like to do something here, just add more detail. Let's bring back everything. Let me change way that we snap vertices will be attached to the closest. Okay, it looks fine to me. We take a look. Oh, and let's turn back cavity. Yeah, it looks nice. Okay, let me select once again all of those edges. And we're gonna bevel this. I'm only beveling those parts that will be kind of visible. Oh, I think there is still face here. Yes, we can remove this and align to the side. Because as you see, when player will like walk here, at plane, put it on the floor, we can go on the first person view. Like this will be like